Yeah, yeah, people are getting really, really angry, with the inflation, and a lot of people look at NFTs or crypto as their way out, their way of beating inflation, their way of creating generational wealth, their way of creating a community, whatever it is. It opens up so many opportunities. Now, what I think, what we're seeing is that those arguments, because we're dealing with, Elizabeth Warren here, that's presenting those same attacks against cryptos, for the money laundering or the terrorism, and it's like, okay, y'all. Do you think there was no money laundering before crypto? Do you think there was no terrorism before crypto? And do you think that if you could hypothetically ban all crypto and NFTs, that all of a sudden there'd be no money laundering or terrorism? So it's a real low IQ argument that they're using,
Yeah, yeah,
but
exactly.
they're not wasting no time parroting it. And what I always like to do, me and my audience, we talk about this a lot, is sometimes you hear these politicians, or you hear, even some influencers, some financial people, and they say one thing, and then Irish, you just got to pull back the veil a little bit. And then you see, stuff like this, the BlackRock. Now, this just came out yesterday, actually. BlackRock modifies the proposed spot Bitcoin ETF to meet SEC requirements. So here we go. This right here, plus the Bitcoin halving, I think it's going to skyrocket the price of crypto. I think the bull run is going to be very similar to previous cycles. I'm not going to give any price predictions because I know I'll be wrong. Think about it. Nobody can really say where a top's going to be. You're going to be wrong. But what I think is going to happen is the crypto bull run is going to happen 2024, maybe early 2025. Then a lot of the money is going to flow into NFTs. And
It
I
always
think
does.
it always
Yeah,
does.
it always does. Yeah.
It,
That's what
it,
we've noticed already, that it does, because people want to diversify their assets, and that's all it is, just diversifying it into different areas. Now, when you buy NFTs, it is that one step harder to actually profit, because you think to yourself, oh, I'm just going to sell it, that I have ETH, but will you actually exchange that to fiat? Probably not, because you're so excited that you've made a lot of money out of NFTs or whatever, that you might buy something else. And
Mhm.
that's the way that it works. And a lot of artists turn into collectors. A lot of content creators are monetizing so much that they become investors in other people's artwork. And that's what I love about Web3, that it is like a full flow, and the money is going like all around. It's not just one person that make, like, even like people, if you say like he was the biggest, and he wasn't, but just because everybody knows him, it's a good
Mhm.
example. Like, he was still buying artworks off other people, and still, like, he created a gallery. He did a lot for like CryptoPunks community, and anyone could join. He would have pumped a lot of money into Web3 events and so on. So it's not like
Mhm.
people are leaving and just taking the money with them. Most people will buy other people's artwork and so on. So NFTs is going to be, I think, huge next year. I think the last time we spoke, I think we both were saying like minimum 2 years until like the
Mhm.
next bull run. I think it will be a lot sooner than we think, but it's just hard to know when.
I hope you're right. And the famous last words is always in investing is this time's going to be different, because I don't think it is. And Irish, you're more plugged into the NFT world than I am. But let me ask you this: how many artists, how many traditional artists have you met that have made, let's not say millions, but have now made a living because of NFTs, because of this technology? Meaning that they were an artist, a traditional artist, that maybe had to work a full-time job, but now because of NFTs, they now have escaped the matrix, escaped the rat race, escaped the 9 to 5 because of this technology. Not because, so they didn't become a better artist, they didn't become Pablo
No,
Picasso, but
they're
the
the exact same.
technology.
Yeah.
And you see the stories where it's some little artists, and they have a little project, and somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk stumbles across the story, or some, like you said, an investor that made a bunch of money on NFTs. And what do? They become a collector. So they don't just get rich in NFTs and run. No, they actually fall in love with the space. So are you seeing a lot of that, like, like artists that are becoming self-made, or at least, self sufficient because of NFTs? Are you seeing a lot of that?
Yeah, I have like over 2,000 students, like, globally. And I believe like I've onboarded a lot of people into the space, and I've actually like asked them themselves, like, are you full-time now, or are you comfortable full-time? Because obviously in the the bear market, then a lot of people might regret, you know, being full-time, and it's because it's scary. But like, self-employment is scary, and it's in a way no different. And a lot of people think it's like 10 times more scary. It's not, because there's so many opportunities in the space, and there always is. This year was definitely hard for everyone, no matter if you're in Web3 or not. So this year, I think if you can like still hold on to whatever skills that you have, whatever clients that you have, whatever, and that, you know, that makes you tick in the morning, that you can still continue on, like, for future years, you know. I believe like a lot of like Irish people that I onboarded did leave their job, and they want to stay in Web3 because they see the amount of opportunity. And I always say opportunity because like every day you see open calls for galleries. They could be on a billboard in New York, or like just things that wouldn't necessarily happen without NFTs. Like I've got to like fly to places that I would never have seen before because of where crypto has taken me and so on. So it's a completely different world. I think everyone should like dive into it because it's just it's so exciting that there's so many like celebrities that you can talk to on a day-to-day basis, and it's so easy to find new people because it's so small, it's so niche. So I think like why wouldn't you want to be in this area?